Hello, my name is Ranaldo Smith, and this is my spring reflection. As I look back at some of the amazing experiences and uh, courses we've gone through, I really found myself growing, and so I've titled this reflection video "Cultivating a Garden of Growth." When I think about some of the stuff we did, um, I really think that a garden requires planning and care and nurturing, and developing leadership in elementary schools involves tending to both students and teachers over time. And I think that's one of the things that I saw when we look at things like instructional leadership and strategic leadership. The principles that succeed, or one of the things they said is you must invest the time and planning and preparation and making sure that the soil is ready before you put seeds in. And so I think that developmental focus of nurturing and preparation is something I took. Another thing I took from a lot of our experiences is really leaders act as gardeners, planting seeds of trust, values, vision, pulling the weeds of negativity and poor communication, and fostering conditions of growth. We really saw this in terms of at Howard Hall and Elizabeth Cashwell, where they really talked about how the vision drives their growth and how that they have to constantly reconnect to where are we going, how are we going to get there, are there any changes that we need to make to really be successful. And that's a part of that, planting that seed of trust, because people only follow leaders that they trust. Another thing I look at it is that when you're planting these seeds, you're developing leaders, whether not just students but teachers. Um, at Howard Hall and at Smith Magnet, the principal talked about how important it is to promote from within, how your teachers go through development and learn skills so they can become coaches and they can constantly move up. And so you have this replenishing of resources, this spring, summer, these seasons of growth that allow educators to lead in various capacities and not become stagnant, because we know stagnant soil does not give you a good harvest. Another way this metaphor connected to me is that young students are like seedlings. Each one is unique with different needs and different growth rates. So we're talking about this differential learning that I saw, that was small group learning that was happening in all these classes where teachers were really getting involved in how do I affect not just the classroom, but how do I affect each individual student. And I consider myself to be a great teacher, but I was so uh, taken aback how it's happened at the upper elementary level, which is something I did not have experience with. And so I found that to be very eye opening. I think it also relates to developing a strong, supportive culture, which is something um, that I was assigned. And so I was really looking for that at the various places. And so a supportive culture, if we're going back to our metaphor, what does a plant need? It needs sunlight, it needs soil, it needs water. All of these different elements help a plant grow and thrive. If you're missing any one of them, well, your plant may still grow, but you stunted growth. It never really reaches its full potential. And so we saw the culture of these schools where they had houses, where they had different ways to reinforce academic but also positive behavior, because they were building a culture, and you saw it embodied in how the kids were lining up for getting into school. We saw how they were getting their lunches. We saw how they communicated in the classroom. Even though they were snapshots, you could see that these were embedded. And so I think that's a part of that as well. Another way we can look at it is kind of like the semester that we've been on as burgeoning leaders. Um, we began with our fundamental concepts. Once again, going back to the soil prep, we looked into moving and strategy and implementation. And then we're going to culminate with outcomes, whether it be an EOG, an EOC, or academic growth, or a successful leader that is being promoted. And so I think that this this entire spring semester, really, I saw growth. Even at our formative assessment day, I saw my cohort members step up inside their presentations, and I saw personality. I saw confidence. I saw people that in my groups that I didn't think had a strong voice. They stepped up and they took leadership roles. And so I think um, not that I think, we've experienced this growth inside this semester. And so there are so many things that I can take and grow and develop from, that I know that as much as I am a gardener, I am a plant in this program. And and I've learned that to trust the process, as we've been told, because there is an ultimate gardener, and there are our professors, and there are these great leaders that are tending to the garden in our principal preparation program. And so that's my spring reflection. And so I hope the metaphor made sense, and I thank you for your time and listening.